One of the most common things that I hear from guys who are about 6 to 8 weeks into my coaching program is that they're struggling with this double-edged sword. On one hand, they're super happy because they're losing weight. But on the other hand, they're super sad because they feel like they're getting smaller. And if you're watching this video, I imagine you're in that position right now. But I want to start by reassuring you, because not only is this feeling incredibly normal and something that millions of men have been through before you, including myself, but it's also a sign that things are going in the right direction for you. However, this is a very important topic because it is that negative feeling that keeps so many men stuck in this cycle where they don't actually get the results that they want. They go 6 weeks into a cut, feel like they're getting too smaller, panic, and then start to reverse out of it, reverse out of all the good habits, all the good decisions that they've been making. But that is honestly pretty much the worst thing that you can do. So today, I want to unpack this for you in this very raw and unscripted video and help you to see not just why you're on the right path, but give you encouragement to keep going as well. So as I say, the first thing to say is that you are on the right path. This is incredibly normal, so you don't need to panic. What's happening is that your body is losing fat faster than it can build muscle. And unless you're on TRT, peptides, or steroids, this is pretty much always going to be the way. The rate that you lose fat is directly proportionate to the size of your calorie deficit. If you're in a 500 calorie deficit per day, you're going to lose about a pound of fat per week. If you're in a 1,000 calorie deficit, you're going to lose 2 pounds. If you can go all the way up to a 1,500 or even 2,000 calorie deficit, which some guys can do if they're 120, 140 kilos, by the way, then you're going to lose 3 or 4 pounds of fat per week. But regardless of how hard you try, as long as you're natural, you are never, ever going to gain muscle at the same rate. So yeah, you will look smaller before you start to look leaner. But all that's happening is you're getting rid of that soft layer that's been hiding everything underneath. Once that's gone, the hard work that I'm guessing you're putting into the gym will start to show. This is when your clothes start to fit better, your shoulders start to pop, and your arms start filling out those t-shirts. Think of it like renovating a house. You have to clear out all the clutter before the new design is going to take shape, right? Right now, you are doing that. You are clearing out the clutter. You're clearing out the fat. And over the next few weeks, your focus is going to start shifting from losing weight to building your physique. Because what you're really doing here, and I think what most men want, is a full body recomposition. This is where essentially you are losing the fat and building the muscle at the same time. And as long as you're in a calorie deficit, resistance training, prioritizing protein, and getting your sleep in, that is exactly what is happening. Because those three things, progressive overload, where you are progressively increasing the amount of volume that you are lifting in the gym over a period of time, prioritizing your protein, aiming for at least 0.8 grams per pound of lean body weight, but don't be afraid to go higher than that, and making sure that you're getting at least 7 hours of high quality sleep. Those are the three needle movers of muscle. The other thing to think about, right, is that let's say you're losing weight, but you're going to the gym and you're progressively overloading every single week. Well, that means you're getting stronger, right? It's physically impossible for your muscles to get smaller and for you to lift heavier weights. So even though you, as an entity, are getting smaller, your muscles aren't. I think the reality is that most men don't realize how much fat they were actually carrying in the first place. I actually had this with a client doing this check-in this morning. He's already lost 20, maybe 25 pounds, something like that in the last 6 months. He had this target in mind and he's just about to hit it. And in his check-in today, he said, I might have a little bit more weight to lose than I thought. So what's really going on here is that you're stuck in a bit of a psychological trap. You feel like you're getting smaller, but the reality is you're actually getting stronger. And this is why I always say that data trumps everything, because you never want to be relying on your emotions and how you're feeling. You want to be relying on data because data allows you to look at things logically and make better decisions. If you're tracking your workouts on a spreadsheet, on the Notes app, on your phone, or ideally on an app like I do and like my clients do, then over time you can see the progressive overload that you're achieving. So regardless of how you feel when you look in the mirror, regardless of what the scales say, regardless of what other people say to you, because this is another one, you don't need to worry about it as long as you have the data to show you that you are getting stronger over the weeks. So if you're not tracking your apps and you feel like you're going in the wrong direction, do that first. Start tracking your apps, your workouts, and see over time if you are getting stronger on those lifts. Don't rely on what you think. Don't rely on your emotions. Don't rely on your feelings, because trust me, they are all incredibly unreliable. The other thing I should say here actually is that the number one or one of the biggest symptoms of depression and mental health issues is rumination. This is the idea that you're constantly thinking about negative thoughts and it creates this spiral, right? Now, I'm going to assume if you're watching a video like this that your health, your body, your aesthetics, your physique is one of your number one, if not your number one priority right now. And that means you are focusing on it. Every time you pass a mirror, I expect you're lifting up your shirts, maybe flexing your arms a little bit, seeing if you can find any changes. And I know this because when I lost 50 pounds in 4 months, I did this in every single mirror that I went past. I got completely obsessed with it. And by the end point, I was upset if I hadn't seen changes in like 3 hours. It got absolutely ridiculous. But what's really going on here and what's keeping you stuck in this negative cycle is that rumination. You're ruminating on the biggest problem in your life right now, because that is where your focus is. Because you're ruminating on it, you're probably feeling a little bit sad about it. So the trick, much easier said than done, is to take the importance out of it. Because you have to realize fitness isn't a game that you ever win. I understand that we're blokes, we're men, we all want to reach our goals yesterday. But the reality is the guys who are doing the best in this game are the ones who are enjoying the process. I know that sounds incredibly cliched, but it's so true. I mean, I'm a good example of this. I don't train to get bigger or leaner anymore in particular. To be honest with you, the body that I have is a byproduct. What I really do it for is my mental health. I have my best ideas after a hard training session. I feel my best once I have got up and done a tough leg session in the morning. Because I push myself, because I enjoy the process, I enjoy the fruits of that labor. But I have pushed past that phase where I am ruminating and obsessing and overly focusing on, whether my bicep is getting an inch bigger or my abs are protruding slightly better at a certain angle or not. I just don't care about that stuff anymore. And I'm not judging you if you care. I have been there myself, but I'm just telling you that this phase will pass. And if you want to kind of speed run it and get through it as fast as possible, then what I would encourage you to do is just take the importance out of this. Because the reality is, no one else cares as much as you do. And the other thing to say is that whatever the goal that you got is, you think you're going to be happy when you get there. I can absolutely assure you, you're not going to be. If you're the type of guy who is trying his best to get down to a certain body fat percentage, then it's safe to say that you are a high-functioning type A man. And us guys are never satisfied. We hit one goal, we're happy for about 15 seconds, then we get a little bit depressed, and then we set our sights on another goal. So take solace in the fact that what you think you want isn't what you actually want. Keep moving forward, relax, enjoy it. See this as something that you get to do, and keep tracking your data, because that data helps to take the emotion out of the equation. It helps to keep you on the straight and narrow. And whatever you do, don't chop and change your program. If you are losing fat every single week, congratulations. You've done the hardest part. You're in a calorie deficit. The worst thing you could do right now is to swap everything you've been doing for something else, or to push down harder on the gas and try and get to where you think you're trying to get to quicker. And this is exactly why I say that patience is the most underrated habit. But you know what? It's honestly like a superpower. It's like a muscle. If you can develop it, if you can hypertrophy patience, then you will get what you want and you'll stop caring about when it happens. So all of this to say, this is completely normal. You're doing the right thing. You're on the right path. Track your workouts. Have some patience. Keep going and enjoy the process.